Hello friends, welcome to video lecture on kinematics of machinery. In the today's session, we'll learn about the hook joint. So let us start. Where that hook joint is used. Okay? So hook joint is used to connect the shafts which intersect at a small angle or which are non-parallel and intersecting shafts. Okay? So if you just say whatever this fork end and whatever this fork end, so here is the first shaft, here is the second shaft. Okay, so both these are connected with each other when there is a small angle between this shaft and this one, or intersecting with each other when these shafts are non-parallel with each other. Okay, and it's used to transmit the power from gearbox of an engine of rear axle, and next one to transmit the power to differential spindles of multiple drilling machine. So it consists of, here if you just see, here is nothing but the driving shaft, here is driven shaft. Okay, as per our discussion, if the small inclination, okay, this is nothing but the small inclination alpha in between this shaft number 2. Okay, driving shaft and driven shaft. Okay, this is known as fork end, as fork end of the uh, driven shaft. Okay, both these shafts are connected with each other by this one cross or intermediate piece. Okay, so we can do the analysis of the hook joint. Okay, so here in this case, this shows the front view and the top view. This indicate the front view of the two shafts which are connected by a hook joint. The inclination between the axis of the two shaft is alpha. In this way, we just say the inclination between the two shaft is nothing but the alpha. If the joint is looked along the axis of shaft 1, axis of the shaft 1, for the fork ends of the this shaft will be, just see the fork ends of the shaft is nothing but here are nothing but A and B, okay, as shown this figure, and second one is nothing but the C and D. E and D are the positions assumed by the fork ends of the shaft 2. Okay, so here is nothing but AB is nothing but the end positions of the shaft A, and this indicate the end position of the one. CD indicate the end position of the or fork end of the shaft 2. Okay, so the next point, as the shaft 1 rotate, let us just see here, when the shaft 1 start rotate, once mean here just assume that the driving shaft start rotate, its fork ends A and B move in a circle. Okay, this will start moves. Okay, A will move towards the A dash point and B will start move towards the B1 B1 point. Okay, so this will moves in a circular way, but the fork ends of the C and D, if you just see here, the fork ends of the C and D of the shaft 2 moves along a path of an ellipse. If you just see whatever the path followed by this one is the elliptical path. If you look along the axis of the shaft 1, okay, if you just see from particular one direction, okay, we can just say the path followed by the this one second shaft is nothing but the elliptical path. Okay, now the C will displace at point C1, and if you look towards this D point, move towards the point D1. Okay, so this is nothing but the path of the AB, circular path followed by the AB, and this is nothing but the elliptical path followed by D and D point or D1. Okay, D will shift it towards the D1. Okay, now if you look towards here, let the shaft 1 was here, shaft number 1, the displacement of this A point up to A1 and B up to B1. Okay, that makes an angle theta. Just see the angle made by this one with the horizontal line, nothing but the theta. Let the fork end of this one C takes a new position C1 on an ellipse in a front view, but the true angle made by the up to will be when it is looked along its own axis. Okay, in case of C and D move in a circle, to find the true angle project C1 horizontally to intersect this one, intersect with the C2. Therefore, the angle COC2 is the true angle turned by the shaft 2. Okay, hence when the shaft 1 turns through an angle theta, the shaft turns through an angle this one phi. Okay, so if you look towards the simple meaning of this one, the A B point is here. Okay, when that takes a new position A1 and B1. Okay, so angle made by this one is nothing but the theta. Okay, at the same time, if you look towards this one, this will looks like this angle and this angle same, but this angle is not actually same, because the path followed by this C point up to C1 is elliptical path. So whatever the path followed by that point must be a circular path. That's why here one construction is done here. This point is shifted towards this one circle in such a way that we can get the circular path of the same. Now see, whatever the angle made by this C2 to a center 1 is nothing but the phi. Okay, so this is nothing but the true angle. Okay, this is nothing but just only apparent angle. Okay, so here hence when the shaft 1 turns to an angle theta, the shaft turns to an angle phi. Okay, this shaft. Okay, so from geometry of this one, first of all you have to construct this diagram. Okay, this way, elliptical path at the center and circular path at the outside of this one. Okay, now from the geometry you can just say tan of theta. If you look towards this picture, so here you just consider this triangle, tan of theta is nothing but front side EC1 divided by this one O EC1 divided by this one OE. Okay, similarly tan of phi. So what's about the tan of phi? This side EC2 divided by EO. Okay, now just just do this step, tan of theta divided by tan of phi equals to, you can get this one in this way, EC1 divided by EO divided by EC2 divided by EO. Okay, like this one. You just see this EO is same, get cancelled, so you can get here EC1 divided by EC2. So what's about this EC1? EC1 must be equals to, if you just see here picture. Okay, so what's about this one? This is nothing but the OM. Okay, so must be equals to, what's about this OM? OM is nothing but here ON1 1 cos of alpha. Okay, so this side is nothing but the adjacent with the cos. That's why this must be equals to ON1 cos of alpha. Okay, so next one is nothing but the EC2. Similarly, you can write for this one, EC2 is nothing but the ON. So what's about the ON? ON is nothing but the ON1. Okay, now from equation number 1, from this equation number 1, you can write this in this way, tan of theta divided by tan of phi equals to, so what's about the EC1 term? This EC1 term with us ON1 cos of alpha divided by ON1. Okay, so this term get cancelled. So, and sorry, you can get in this way, tan of theta, tan of this one, tan of theta multiply by this term. So you can get 1 tan of theta equals to tan of phi multiply by cos of alpha. Okay, so where this angle alpha is nothing but the inclination of the driven shaft with the driving shaft, inclination made by driven shaft with the driving shaft. Okay, now if you just look towards next step, ratio of the angular velocities of the shaft. Okay, so as per our earlier discussion, the driving shaft rotates at a uniform angular speed, whereas the driven shaft rotates at the continuously varying angular speed. Okay, so our ultimate aim is to get the ratio of the angular velocities of the shaft. For that, let us consider omega1 is nothing but the angular velocity of the driving shaft. Okay, so d theta by dt, we can get the same for this one. Similarly, omega 2 is nothing but the angular velocity of the driven shaft. So that can be written in this way, d phi by dt. Okay, now differentiate both side of the equation. If you just see, this is the equation with us, just differentiate this equation with respect to theta. Okay, so if you just see the derivative of this one is nothing but the sec square theta. Okay, again derivative of theta is nothing but here d theta by dt. Okay, and towards the right side of this one, cos of alpha term is constant, so derivative of this one, tan of theta is again sec square phi. Again derivative of phi is nothing but the d phi by dt. So in this way we can get that step. Okay, in this way. So once we write this step, okay, so what's about the meaning for this one? D theta by dt is nothing but the omega 1, and d phi by dt is nothing but the omega 2. Okay, now just simplify this one, substitute or replace this term by omega 1, replace this term by omega 2. Okay, so our ultimate aim is to get the ratio of the angular velocity of the driven shaft and driving shaft, driven to the driving. So omega 2 divided by omega 1. Okay, this term goes in denominator. So omega 2 by omega 1 equals to sec square theta divided by cos of alpha into sec square theta. We can get this term, step. So what's about the meaning for the sec square theta? Is nothing but the 1 divided by cos square theta. Okay, so 1 upon cos square theta multiplied by cos of alpha into sec square phi. Okay, this term will come. But we know that this is the formula. This is the relation for the relation in between the tan and sec. Okay, so sec square phi is nothing but the 1 plus tan square phi. Okay, so we know the relation between this tan of phi and, okay, know this relation tan of phi to cos of alpha equals to tan theta. Okay, from this step already that in us. Okay, for this tan of phi is nothing but the tan of theta divided by cos of alpha. Just here equal to sign is there, don't consider this one as minus. Okay, this looks like a minus, but here the equal to sign is there. Okay, in between these two terms. Okay, so for this tan of phi you can get tan of theta divided by cos of alpha. Okay, in this way. Okay, now replace this tan of phi by this term. Okay, and do the further simplification. Okay, so tan square theta is nothing but the sin square theta divided by cos square theta. This term will remain as it is. Okay, now move towards the next step. So in the next step, here make the base common. Okay, you look towards this step, 1 plus this term. Okay, so make the base common here, this term multiply by this one. Okay, plus this one sin square theta will comes to the picture and divided by this term cos square theta multiplied by cos square alpha. Okay, the term will come like this one. So after this, just continue cos square theta. So what's about the meaning for this one? Cos square alpha, we know the regular trigonometric formula. What's about that? Cos square alpha plus sin square alpha equals to 1, or cos square theta plus cos square theta plus sin square theta equals to 1. From that relation, you can write this one in this 1 minus sin square alpha plus sin square theta divided by this term will comes as it is. Okay, now substitute the value of sec square theta in equation number 1. So we can get now come back towards the previous relation. Okay, so here is that formula with us. Okay, already that we did the analysis for this sec square phi. Okay, now already that value with us. Now just continue this step. Omega 2 by omega 1 equals to 1 divided by cos square theta multiplied by cos of alpha multiplied by sec square phi. Already we did the analysis for the same. Okay, just replace that square theta by this term. Okay, so we can get this one in this way, omega 2 by omega 1, this term. Okay, this term will remain as it is. You have to just write, you have to replace this sec square phi term with the help of these terms. So in this case what we get, you have to just multiply by this term to inside term before proceeding further. Okay, cos square theta multiplied by this one, 1 means cos square theta minus cos square theta into sin square alpha plus sin square theta. Okay, in this way the term will come. Okay, so divided by this term will comes as it is. Okay, and we are just putting the replacing that cos square sec square phi. Okay, this term we are replacing here, this one. The other terms, this one will remain as it is. Okay. Now if you just see, by putting all this thing in equation number, this one, equation number 1, we can just simplify that. So here in this case, by simplification of this one and putting in place of the sec square phi, this term get cancelled, 1 cos alpha get cancelled. Okay, now just see the remaining terms. Okay, cos of alpha divided by 1 minus cos square theta into sin square theta will comes into picture. Okay, if n1 and n2 are the speeds of the driving and driven shaft, then you can get 2 by n1 equal to 2 by omega 1. So this is nothing but the ratio of angular velocities of the shaft. Okay, now the condition for the equal speeds of the driven and driving shaft. For equal speed, omega 2 equals to omega 1, when the speed of the driving and driven becomes same. Okay, for that, if you look towards this formula, if I substitute the value for the omega 2 by omega 1 as 1, okay, what do we get here? This term will remain as it is. Okay, then you look towards here, this term goes towards the left side, and after that just simplify. Cos of alpha equals to this term 1 minus cos square theta into sin square alpha comes into picture. Okay, so 1 minus cos of alpha, if you just see here, if I take this term towards the left side and if I take this term towards the another side, then you can get this step like this one, cos square theta into sin square alpha equals to 1 minus cos of alpha. Okay, so cos square theta is nothing but here 1 minus cos of alpha divided by sin square alpha. Okay, so further we can get this term in only a single variable, that is in terms of cos of alpha, by substituting the this one, replacing this term by 1 minus cos square alpha. Okay, so you look towards the next one, 1 minus cos square alpha is nothing but, you can get the in one bracket as negative value, and second one is nothing but the positive. Here 1 minus cos of alpha, and in the second bracket you can get 1 plus cos of alpha, so one bracket get cancelled, and here we can get 1 divided by 1 plus cos of alpha in this way. So what's about the meaning for this one? Sin square theta plus cos square theta divided by this term will come as it is. Okay, so here if I further for the analysis, if I take the cos square theta is common from this term, then what will remain here? Sin square phi divided by cos square, sin square theta divided by cos square theta plus 1 in this way. Okay, plus and divided by 1 plus cos of alpha in this way. If you look towards this one, this step, if I take this term towards this side, okay, and the remaining towards the another side, so in this case 1 get cancelled, and cos of alpha is nothing but here tan square theta. Okay, so here we can get for that tan of theta equals to cos of tan square theta equals to cos of alpha, and further we can get tan of theta equals to plus minus square root of cos of alpha. Okay, so in this way we can get the relation for the, and the value for omega 2 equals to omega 1. Okay, now if you just see here from this developed relation, okay, between this tan of theta, theta and alpha. Okay, there are the two values of theta corresponding to positive sign and two values corresponding to the negative sign. Hence there are the four values of theta at which the speeds of the driving and driven shafts are equal. So next one is the maximum and minimum speed of the driven shaft. The ratio of the speeds of the driven and driving shafts given by this relation. Okay? Omega 2 by omega 1 equals to cos of alpha. So already this relation we have developed in the previous step. Okay, this one omega 2 by omega 1 equals to omega 2 by omega 1 equals to cos of alpha divided by 1 minus cos square theta into sin square alpha. Okay, now my focus here, develop this relation for the maximum speed. Okay, so if for that, again this term actually with us, omega 2 is nothing but the angular velocity of the driven shaft, omega 1 is nothing but the angular speed of the driving shaft. Okay, so the maximum speed, for that maximum speed, how can get the maximum speed? Okay, for that if you just see here the value for the alpha and value for the theta. Okay, so the speed of the driven shaft will be the maximum for the given inclination of the shaft. Okay, for the given value of the angle alpha, when the denominator of the above equation, this equation, is the minimum one, and the value for this one, this term, should be a minimum one. Okay, so for that, if you just see the value for the cos of theta, here only a variable with us, cos of theta must be here. If I substitute the value for theta as 0, what will happen here? The cos theta, this term becomes 1. Okay, cos of 0 means how much? Cos of 0 is nothing but here 1. Okay, so cos square theta, to get the value for this one, the theta must be 0. Okay, so 1 minus this term, this becomes 1. Okay, 1 minus cos square 0 means here 1, so 1 minus sin square alpha, this term will remain. So omega 2 by omega 1 equals to cos of alpha divided by this term. So what's about the meaning for this one? This is nothing but the cos square alpha. Okay, so 1 alpha get cos of alpha get cancelled. We can get the relation for the maximum speed in this way, omega 2 equals to omega 1 divided by cos of alpha. Okay, so this is nothing but the maximum angular speed of the driven shaft for the given value of the alpha. Similarly, we can get the relation for the minimum speed. For that, if you just see this is nothing but the denominator of that previous equation. This is the relation with. Now, in case of the maximum speed, the denominator should be here the minimum. Okay, get the maximum speed, the denominator must be minimum in case of the maximum speed, and to get the minimum speed, the denominator must be a maximum. For that, for the given values of the alpha, how that is possible to get the value for this one as maximum? If I substitute the value for this one, theta as 90 degree or 270 degree, what will happen here? What's about the meaning of theta as 90 degree? If I substitute the value for cos of 90 here, okay, then what we get here? We can get the 0 value for this one. What's about the value for cos of 90 or cos 270? We can get directly 0 here. Okay, so what do we get here? 1 minus 0. We can get this relation like this one, omega 2 by omega 1 equals to cos of alpha. So in this way I can get this relation, omega 2 equals to omega 1 multiplied by cos of alpha. Okay, this equation gives the minimum value of the angular speed of the driven shaft. Okay, now see the polar diagram. The diagram which shows the variation of the angular velocities of the driven shaft and driving shaft for one complete revolution is known as polar velocity diagram. Okay, so this diagram shows that polar velocity diagram. Okay, now in this case the speed of the driven shaft is maximum when theta equals to 0 and 180, whereas the speed is minimum when theta equals to 90 degree and 270 degree. It will more clear to you here. Okay, so just here what point we can get the this one, omega 2 equals to omega 1. Okay, so then that will depends upon the value of theta. Okay, if you consider the value of theta is nothing but the 90 degrees 70 degree. Okay, start from here, first quadrant, second, third, fourth quadrant. Okay, you look towards the whatever the fluctuations comes because of that variation in the angle when theta equals to 0. Okay, when the value for the theta becomes 0 or 180 degree, so what we get here? We can get the speed of the driven shaft is maximum. Okay, if you just see the value for the theta is 0 here, what we get here? Omega 2 max, that must be equals to omega 1 by cos of alpha. Similar case when the theta equals to 180 degree, just here when the value for the theta is 180 degree, what do we get here? We can get the same maximum value for the driven shaft. Okay, the speed of the driven shaft is equals to the speed of the driving shaft at the 4 points. So here are the 4 points. Okay, here, 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 here. Okay, we can get that the maximum value, sorry, equal value. And the speed of the driving shaft is constant, and hence it is represented by the circle of radius equals to omega 1. If you just see whatever the circle shown here, so in this case the value for the omega 1 and omega 2 equal, then can get the constant speed. Then the speed of the driven shaft is not constant. Okay, the maximum value is omega 1 by this one cos of alpha, and the minimum value is omega 2 is nothing but the omega 1 multiplied by cos of alpha. Then if you just see the for the maximum and minimum, this indicate the semi major axis and semi minor axis of the elliptical path followed here. So the speed of the driven shaft is not constant. The maximum value is omega 1 by cos of alpha, and the minimum value is omega 1 into cos of alpha. This and this one. Because clear idea about this is represented by the ellipse of the semi major axis. Semi major axis with here semi minor axis with us. Then the maximum fluctuation of the speed of the driven shaft. Okay, for that, in a previous equation, so whatever the maximum fluctuation and minimum this one minimum speed with us and maximum speed with us, this indicate the maximum speed, and we just see here we can get the minimum value for the same. To take the difference of this one, what do we get? We can get the maximum fluctuation of the speed of the driven shaft. Okay, so omega 1 divided by cos of alpha, this indicate the omega 2 max, and this indicate the omega 2 minimum. So we can get in this way omega 1 by cos of alpha minus omega 1 into cos of alpha, like this. So take the omega 1 as common from both the term. So 1 divided by cos of alpha minus cos of alpha. In this way the term will remain. Okay, so make the base common here, 1 minus cos square alpha divided by cos of alpha, like this one. In this way, for this 1 minus cos square alpha, we can get the sin square alpha divided by this term. So what's about the this one, sin of alpha divided by cos of alpha multiplied by sin of alpha. So what's about this one, tan of alpha into sin of alpha. If alpha is small, the smaller value for the alpha is there, then what do we get here? Sin of alpha and tan of alpha is approximately equals to alpha. So maximum fluctuation we can get in this way. For this tan of alpha and sin of alpha, I can just say approximately equals to alpha. So what do we get here? Omega 1 multiplied by alpha multiplied by alpha. What do we get here? Omega 1 multiplied by alpha square. Okay, so from this equation it is clear that the maximum fluctuation of the angular speed of the driven shaft is directly proportional to the square of the angle between the two shafts. Now just here the angular acceleration of the driven shaft. Now that can be given by this relation omega 2 by omega 1 equals to this relation already with us, cos of alpha divided by 1 minus cos square theta into sin square alpha. Okay, or this one, the angular velocity of the driven shaft is given by only this term goes towards this side. Okay, so omega 2 equals to omega 1 multiplied by cos of alpha divided by 1 minus cos square theta into sin square alpha. Now just say here, now to get the angular acceleration and differentiate this one omega 2 with respect to t. Okay, so once we differentiate this term, so already that omega 2 term with us from the previous relation, omega 2 already with us, you have to differentiate this term with respect to time with respect to t. Okay, so for that omega 1 will remains as it is, this one omega 1 remains as it is, you have to differentiate this term. Okay, omega 1 cos of alpha divided by this term. Okay, so here is the step with us, cos of alpha d dt of cos of alpha divided by 1 minus cos square theta into sin square alpha. Okay, this one is constant, so take that outside of the derivative sign. Okay, so here we can get omega 1 multiplied by cos of alpha. You have to differentiate this term. Okay, differentiate this term, you can just take the inverse of this one, 1 minus cos square theta into sin square alpha. The meaning is here. Now we can easily differentiate this term. Okay, so minus 1 term will come here. You have to take the minus 1 into this term raised to minus 1 here, minus 2 will come here, and again you have to just differentiate this term. The derivative of the constant term is but here 0. Then derivative of this cos of theta, cos square theta is nothing but the 2 cos of theta, and derivative of the cos theta is nothing but the minus sin theta, and next term sine square alpha, this term will remains as it is, and apart from this, again you have to take the derivative of this theta, that is nothing but the d theta by dt. So what's about the next one? Next one is nothing but just multiply by this minus sign to this term. What do we get here? Omega 1 into cos of alpha, okay, divided by this term. We just see the inverse of this one is written, okay, means automatically this term goes in denominator. 1 minus cos square theta into sin square alpha raised to 2, okay, this term occurs here. After that, if you see towards this side, minus multiply by this one minus, this becomes plus, okay, sin square alpha into 2 cos of theta into sin theta into d theta by dt, okay, this term will occur here. So after that, if you look towards this one, 2 sin theta cos theta is nothing but the sin to theta. This is the formula with us, okay. With the help of this formula we can replace this one. So what's about the meaning for this one? D theta by dt is nothing but the rate of change of angular velocity, okay, or rate of change of angular displacement with respect to time. So that is nothing but the omega 1. So what's about this term? This term remains as it is, this term will remains as it is, and in denominator term, okay, that also remains as it is. So what's about the next one? After this, you look towards this term, omega multiply by omega. So omega 1 square will occur here, minus sign will remain as it is. This term, next term, okay, next term as it is, divided by this term is also as it is. Now once you get this d omega 2 by dt gives the angular acceleration of the driven shaft. The negative sign does not mean that there is always retardation, okay. The angular acceleration is positive if sine 2 theta is here, the sine 2 theta is negative, and the angular acceleration is negative if the sine 2 theta is positive. Means the value for this one depends upon the 2 theta, okay. So to find the condition when the angular acceleration is maximum or minimum, differentiate this previous equation, this equation again with respect to theta, okay. This equation becomes actually a very, we say, cumbersome, okay, equation, and equate the result with the 0. The resulting expression is very cumbersome, and the result can be approximated. This one cos 2 theta equals to 2 sin square alpha divided by 2 minus sin square alpha, in this way. Thank you. Hope that whatever the point covered in the today's lecture clear to you.